Hey friends, welcome back to Millennial Realtor Monday. Woo woo. Okay, so today we are talking about how to get perfect credit. So today I have a special guest with me, Maria Smith, and I'll let her introduce herself to you. However, guys, if you are new here to my channel, welcome. My name is Keyra Ford. My channel talks about real estate tips and tricks, dance fitness go-tos, and much, much more. All right, Maria, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to us and let us know all about your company and what you have done to help so many people accomplish having true and perfect credit?
Absolutely. Good morning. My name is Maria Smith, and I am the founder of KCMS Financial Group. We are we're a little bit of we're a credit repair company, but we're not like your average credit repair company. We actually care about our clients being successful and being able to get their credit where it needs to be so they can not only, qualify to buy a home, but if you want to buy a car, if you just want to, pop your collar and say, hey, I have an 800 credit score, whatever your goal is, we're here to help you.
Perfect. And how you started your company was, I love your story. It's like I don't love it because it was kind of a bad thing, but then it turned out to be a good thing. So can you kind of give them a little bit about that, and then we'll jump into how to get perfect credit?
Absolutely. Okay, so I actually started this company because when I was trying to purchase my first home way back in 2010, I was scammed by a credit repair company. They told me, hey, they gave me some advice. Oh, go ahead and get your car repoed because I had gotten laid off from my job. I was asking for advice. How should I handle that? And they said, let your car get repoed. We'll get it off your credit. And, $1,600 later, 6 months later, repo was still there and nothing changed. So we're very different in the aspect that we try to make sure that, unlike other credit repair companies, you can't just go to my website and click on a button and give me your money. I don't want your money. I want to be able to talk to you, find out what your goals are, make sure the program's going to benefit you before you start investing into your credit.
I love that. Okay, well, perfect. So guys, she wants to help you. It's not like she's trying to scam you. I know a lot of people get kind of nervous when it comes to getting credit repair. So that's why I always like people to tell their story. So thank you for that. So let's jump into it. My first question for you is, what is the difference between good credit and perfect credit?
Good credit is really where you can maybe get pretty good interest rates. You kind of have a range. It ranges anywhere from very poor to excellent, and there's kind of 5 different varied I guess when you go to a bank, they'll kind of lump you into one of those 5 categories, very poor up to excellent, like I said. So good credit is just typically, it depends on what you're trying to buy, but to purchase a home, you typically you want to have at least a 640, and that's considered good. Excellent is when you start getting into like the high 700s, 750, 770 and higher. Typically when you get to like a 760 credit score, you can walk into a car dealership, you can call your lender, your realtor, and say, hey, this is the house I want, and you're going to have a lot better opportunities and options and much, much lower interest rates. The higher your credit score is, the lower the interest rates you're going to pay. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So really that, I would say like that 620 to like, you say 725, I guess it's good. Oh, 740 is good. And then up is perfect. Okay.
749.
So, perfect. So my next question is, what are the top 5 things that we need to know to achieve perfect credit? Because as millennials, a lot of us were not really necessarily educated on how to build credit, how to have perfect credit. So can you kind of give us a breakdown of what you see fit of trying to keep a perfect credit score or in that range?
Okay, so the first thing I want to make sure that people understand is you cannot achieve perfect credit score in 6 months. You can't. Most people can't achieve it in 2 to 3 months. It takes time. You can achieve a good credit score in a 6 month period. The biggest factor is my peeve. 35% of your score is your payment history. So you cannot have good credit if you don't have credit, if that makes sense. So if your 35% of your score is based on how well you're paying your current creditors, but you don't have any open accounts, when you go to the bank and say, hey, I want to purchase this home, they can't determine if you're paying your other bills on time. So credit is not about getting into debt and getting a bunch of credit cards and going on a shopping spree. That's not how you get good credit. So 35% of your scores based on payment history, you have to have at least 5 to 7 open lines of credit to achieve that 800 perfect credit score. The second factor is 30%. That's your credit utilization. Your income is not a part of your credit. So we can't see your income when it comes to credit repair. So whenever you're, for example, when you're applying for a mortgage loan, your debt to income ratio is different from your debt to credit ratio. And really that 30% utilization is really based on your credit cards. So you want to have, you don't want to use more than 30% of your available limit, but the target is 6 to 10%.
Okay.
So utilization.
And why is that? They just want to make sure that you're actually using it. I mean,
right, making sure you're actually using this credit card. And the other thing is that people, it used to be a big thing where you can get put on as an authorized user on like people's credit cards, which is okay if you're a parent and you're trying to help build your children's credit, or if you're a spouse, those are okay. But unfortunately, there were a lot of credit repair companies back in the day, before my time, y'all. They still do it today, but it's a lot more. It's not as popular today, where they would add you on, if I had an 800 credit score and I would add someone on, a perfect stranger, as an authorized user, boom, it's going to boost your credit score 100 points. Well, that's not the case typically anymore, because they want to make sure you're using that credit card, and they're going to determine, is this really your credit card, or is this really, if you have the same address as a parent or a spouse, then okay, that's going to help boost your credit score. So they just want to make sure that you are using your credit cards, and you are truly an authorized user in the aspect of you have the ability to use that credit card, but you don't. So
gotcha. And then too, I'm gonna backtrack just for 1 second. You said 35% of the credit score is made up of paying your payments on time.
Making your payments on time.
Making your payments on time. So my question is, if you skip a payment, how much does that drop your credit score? So let's just say I missed a payment and it was a 30-day missed payment. Does it drop it like 5 points? Like, so people kind of know how important it is to pay things on time.
One, you can have a car, let's say you had a car for 3 years, you never had a late payment, and life happened, you couldn't make your payment, and you have a 30-day late report to your credit. Just FYI, if you're 4 or 5 days late on your open account, it's not going to report to your credit. It only deems your credit if you're 30 days or more late. So keep that in mind. And then one 30-day late payment actually typically drops your scores anywhere from 75 to 100 points. And so it's a huge, huge dip on your scores. And if you have a perfect 800 credit score or higher, it actually might drop your scores 150 points. The higher your credit score is, the more it will drop your scores if you have one 30-day late payment. So it's a huge, huge hit.
Very important.
It's extremely important. And the problem with that is, let's say that you couldn't make your payment in October, and then your scores dropped 100 points. And now it's November and you're back on time. The issue is that you're not going to get your 100 points back because your November payment was on time. You only gain typically 5 to 7 points back each month. So it takes your credit score a year, 9 months at least, to get your 100 points back. So
did y'all hear that? By missing one payment, 30-day late payment drops your credit score anywhere from 70 to 100 something points, and you only gain back 5 to 7 points each time you pay on time after that late payment.
Yeah,
that late payment.
To recoup from that late payment. And it's a big factor, just because, if you were to go to a bank today and say, hey, I want a $200,000 loan for this house, and they look to see you just missed your car payment in October, they're not going to approve you. You're considered a high risk, because you want me to give you $200,000, which is another loan, which is more debt, but based on your credit, you cannot handle the debt you already have. So they want to make sure, okay, something happened in October and now it's August of the following year, and your payment has been on time ever since then, well, you've been able to recoup from whatever happened back in October last year. So now you're not as high of a risk. And yes, you can have $200,000 now because you've been paying on time since October, and it's August now. So.
Wow, thank you for that. Okay, so 35% is paying on time, 30% is utilization, using how much of your credit. So what's the next 3 things that people should know?
Okay, so then after that, you have your 35% is on-time payment history, 30% is your credit card utilization, and then you have your mixture of credit. So you do need, like I said, 5 to 7 open lines of credit. So you want to make sure that it's not all, you don't need 10 credit cards. You need maybe, 3 to 4 different types of loans, like installment loans. Those can be auto loans, mortgage loans, student loans, personal loans, 2 or 3 of those, and then maybe 2 to 3 credit cards. And that's it. So it's a mixture of how, the different types of credit you have. And then you also have your length of history. That's actually the third factor. I kind of switched those two a little bit, but the amount of time that your credit has been open. So your average age. So every time you open up a new account, in the long run, it's going to help you, but it might drop your scores a little bit in the beginning because you just opened up a new account. So it's going to take your oldest account and your most recently opened account and have an average. That's 15% of your score. Okay. And then 10% is the mixture, installment loans and revolving, which is credit cards. And then the last 10% is, like inquiries, things like that. So it's not really a major impact on your score. So.
Okay. I have 2 questions for you. So for inquiries, I have a lot of clients who always ask, okay, so I've inquired on a lot of things. How many points does an inquiry drop your credit score?
It's typically not huge. It depends. So if you are looking for a home, for instance, that's considered a necessity, or an apartment. Those are considered necessities. So you have to have somewhere to live. And so, and also if you apply for a mortgage loan, typically if you have your credit ran from different lenders within a 45-day time frame, that only counts as 1 inquiry. But if you go to a car dealership and you don't have the best credit and they can't qualify you because you've got a 500 credit score, they're probably going to send you to like 50 or 60 banks. I've had clients that had like 100 inquiries within 2 days because they were trying to get a car and didn't have the best credit. And now that can have a huge impact on your scores. That can drop your scores. It still may be 10 to 15 points. But
not dramatically.
Not dramatic. But they also look bad because the other thing about buying a home specifically is if you have, they don't want you to have a lot of inquiries within the last 90 days. So regardless of your credit score. So just be careful because every time you give your social security number, you're applying for credit. You're not applying for a discount card from Victoria's Secret or whatever. If they say, okay, if you open this account, I'm gonna give you 20% off. Let me just have your social security number. No, ma'am. No, thank you.
So no Victoria's Secret, no TJ Maxx cards. I know. No. You told me the other day you need to close that account, which I did. So, and it has made my credit go. I know. I'm like, woo woo. I'm close to that 800 now, girl.
All right.
My last question is, when it comes to, I think you said mixture of accounts in the time frame. So a lot of people think that once you open an account, you have to have it open for 7 years for it to be mature credit. But that's not really the case. What is considered mature credit or length of credit? I think last time we talked about like 2 years. Is it still 2 years, or is it longer?
It is still 2 years. Like to achieve an 800 perfect credit score, you can achieve that within 2 years. You just have to have the average age, like I said, has to be open. Your youngest account needs to be at least 2 years old.
Gotcha.
So, which is really why people don't normally achieve an 800 credit score until they're older, because you have to have that time to achieve it. And most of us, like you said before, our parents don't really educate us about credit, and we don't really start establishing our own credit until our early to mid 20s. well, I should say good credit. And so it just takes time. So 2 years or longer is the age that you want. You don't want to, you want all of your accounts to be at least 2 years older or older.
Gotcha. Okay, well, perfect. Let me do a quick recap. So 35% is timely payments, 30% is credit usage, and then 15% is the mixture of different accounts. You said anywhere from 5 to 7 accounts, but still having the revolving and the installment.
15% is the average age.
Oh, it's average age. Okay, sorry. Average
That's
age of, which is the 2 years and up. And then the 10% is the mixture. Okay, so the mixture is with the different accounts, not utilization, but which is credit cards and installments. And then the last 10% is inquiries.
Right.
I'm like making sure
I inquiries. Pretty much, yep.
Perfect.
That's pretty much it.
My last question to kind of sum this all up, which thank you for all these great tips, because a lot of people don't know how to build a perfect credit. But what would be your top tip to first-time home buyers who are looking to potentially buy a house shortly? Like, what would you give them for credit-wise? What would be a good tip for them?
I would just say, you want to look at your credit at least twice a year. And especially if you're trying to make a large purchase like a home. A home is the largest purchase we're going to make typically in our lives. So you don't want to just go wait till the last minute, because there's also a lot of fraud going on and identity theft. So there may be something on your credit you have no idea was on there. So my biggest thing is to just watch your credit, be careful, monitor it closely, and look at it at least 6 months before you're ready to make any purchases, even if it's a car, because your credit is your self-worthiness, and it's more than just making purchases on things. It's your, it's really how we manage our own personal debt. So credit is very, very important in many aspects. More, and not only, like I said, buying things, but making sure, if you want a job, they run a lot of background checks now, and that background check a lot of times includes your credit. So if you want to be considered for higher positions, and you're even with your current employer, you want to make sure you focus on your credit and make it a priority.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for your time. Let everyone know how they can contact you to use your services. Tell us your social media. I'll also have it down low in the description, but go ahead and just let them know.
Okay. Well, if you would like a credit evaluation, my website is www.kcmsfinancialgroup.com, and my phone number is 817-271-6342. And you can just reach out to me through email or my website or phone or whatever. I can take a look at your credit, see if you need credit repair. Not everybody needs credit repair. So if you don't need credit repair, I will absolutely let you know that up front. Just give you some professional advice so that you're not listening to your cousins and your friends saying, go and do this and go and do that, and you'll have a perfect credit score. No, you want to hear from a professional, and then that way we can guide you as far as how to build your credit and how to get yourself debt-free without, putting yourself into a situation where you're like, I've got all these credit cards and I can't get out of debt now. So, so I'd be more than happy to take a look at your credit and see if and how we can help.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And if you need her, I'll have all our information below. And have a great one. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Alright guys, I hope this video brought you so much value. I hope Maria provided you all the tips and tricks on how to get that perfect credit. If you know me, you know that my mission is to help millennials and first-time home buyers create that generational wealth buying homes one home at a time. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Alright.
Oh my gosh, there she is. It's Keyra Ford. Keyra Ford. You don't know what? You've never heard? Oh my gosh, she slays every time.